Trinidad and Tobago is now at a crossroad. Trinidad and Tobago needs direction, and we are not getting it. When you have incidents like Reshmi, you have incidents like what is happening to Mr. Warner, you have the new one with what her name is, Janice Thomas. There are people surrounding the highest offices in this country who are tainting the highest offices of this country. The contest for political leader is really a contest for the soul of the COP. Let us be clear about that. Let us make no mistake about that. The Congress of the People is at a juncture now where we need leadership, now that Winston Dugaran has decided that he will not seek re-election. Being a member of parliament is a full-time job. Being a minister of government is another full-time job. And there is no way that any individual can do 3 full-time jobs and do justice to any one of them. It is simply not humanly possible. Or you can choose somebody who is not in the cabinet and who is prepared to devote his fullest time to building the party, building the institutions, growing the party, and taking the country forward as a result. We are here to endorse Vernon de Lima as the preferred candidate for political leader of the Congress of the People. So we are asking you to come out in your numbers on the 3rd of July and support Team de Lima, Vernon de Lima. Yay! And I now invite our candidate and the next political leader of the Congress of the People, Vernon de Lima.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, I would like to say thank you very much to the people who put together this effort this evening. Thank you very, very much. And it was a unique problem because we are in a unique situation. This is the first time, really and truly, that we are faced with a coalition of parties. That is, these parties agreed, even before the election, that they would come together once they won the election to form a coalition government. I envisage that down the road, from certain of my friends, certain people who were gifted and knowledgeable on the matter of political science and so on. And all that was said to me was, well, that's what you agreed on. When you sign that Faizabad Accord, that is what you agreed upon, and so that you have to live with that, right? And then I said, okay, we're living with it, because we had to live with it. We had no choice, because Mr. Dugaran, who is the leader of our party, was at the same time in the cabinet, and he's a Minister of Finance, and leader of the Congress of the People. So I went to him as well. And I said to him, look, this is the problem, and so on. And he said, yes, I can see that is a problem that could arise, and so on. And it is because of that that I made up my mind then and there that if ever the time came that Mr. Dugaran was stepping down and we would have a new political leader, as far as I am concerned, that person ought not to be in the cabinet. And by extension, ought not to be in Parliament at all. Let me make this very, very specific. I never said, and I never could mean, that at no time whatsoever will the leader of the Congress of the People not be a member of the Parliament. Not at all. What I'm saying is for the next how many years, whether it is 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, but 4 years is the maximum because one is gone, right? Once we continue to have only 6 seats and only 4 people in the cabinet, the leader ought not to be in the cabinet. That is my position. Because look at what will happen. Look at what has happened. A number of things will arise from time to time, and we outside don't agree with them. And our people, our 4 people in the cabinet, are tied, hog-tied, or if you want, tied like a crab. Right? They cannot say what decision they agreed to in the cabinet because they're caught. They're caught by that principle. And if they did say, if proper chance, one of them were to come out and say, well, you know, we didn't vote for that, you know. And 2 other members of the cabinet, that's what the people said, the Prime Minister will call upon them right away to tender their resignation. One Minister of Sport, the other one Minister of Legal Affairs, right? And the 2 of them stepped forward and say, we wish to take the place of Mr. Dugaran. I said, no. Once you come that way, I am going to oppose you, and I'm going to ask if you want to be private, if you want to be the leader of our party, and you want me to support you, step aside, come out of the cabinet, resign, and I will support you. And none of them did it. When Anil Roberts announced his candidature, I was invited, and at the very first night, here in Lima Martin, and there are 2 or 3 people in this crowd here who know of what I speak. I took the microphone and I asked them that question. I said, how can you do it? You just be exchanging places with Mr. Winston Dugaran. And therefore, you carry our party nowhere. It is impossible for someone in Trinidad and Tobago today, in the context of what happens in the Parliament, to be both a member of the cabinet and a minister of government, and at the same time be the political leader of Congress and the people. It just can't be done. If I am elected political leader on the 3rd of July, I shall give up my profession for however long it takes for me to do the job properly. This party is suffering, and this party has been suffering very badly since the general election.
Correct.
I know, I will tell you about it. And I will challenge and I've done it. I've challenged Mr. Ramada last night when I mentioned it. I'm told that he was doing so. Yeah, he's shaking his head from left to right. And the other gentleman, Mr. Roberts. I've been in both of their constituencies. By the way, I didn't go there purposely, but by the way. And the people there are very angry with them because they haven't seen them. In Mr. Ramada's case, I have met several people who have made appointments to meet him, and when they go to his meetings, they don't come. They just don't come. And I feel, it's not that they don't want to come, you know, they can't come because they're too busy.